They always say based on the incredible true story. This one is pretty incredible. Let's talk about the greatest beer run ever. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Apple TV Plus film, The Greatest Beer Run Ever. This stars Zac Efron, and in some more minor roles, you've got Russell Crowe and Bill Murray as well. Before we get into the specifics of this movie and my thoughts on it, I want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Please consider subscribing down below there, or click that like button, click that subscribe button. Would love to have you aboard there. All right, so let's get on to this movie. Zac Efron is on a pretty hot streak with movies that are, really carried on his back, because he was in a movie just a couple of months ago called Gold, that really only featured a few people. They go and find a gold, thing in the desert that they can't get out. And so he spends the majority of the movie by himself. Now here, it's, not quite that. There's a lot of players here, but he is in, I would say, every scene of the movie. And so he definitely is the star, far and away. I can't even say there's really co-stars, just sort of like, cameos and stuff. That's not true. Russell Crowe actually has a fairly minor, prominent role. He's in, a little bit of the movie. But anyway, it was directed and co-written by Oscar winner Peter Farrelly of the Farrelly Brothers. They brought us Something About Mary, which maybe could have won an Oscar too, right? Kingpin, Dumb and Dumber. But he struck out on his own for The Green Book, and that won Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay, both, which went to him. So now we've got this other movie, and it's not quite in the same vein as Green Book, because it's not, well, I don't even want to say it's not as serious, because it is. It's a little more at odds with itself than Green Book was. That was more or less a straight-ahead drama. It had maybe some comedic moments. This one, I think you could say there's some tonal swings, because it's a little bit funny in parts, and very, very serious in others. But let me describe for you the gist of the story. And this is a true story, and I looked up, with the biopics and the true stories these days, I like to look up what is real and what's not. Not that it will color my grade necessarily. Sometimes it can, if things are like wildly off. But really, for the most part, the things that happen in this movie are pretty legitimate. Now, Russell Crowe, who plays a reporter sort of embedded in Vietnam, he is made up. His character is made up. Now, did this guy run into people like that? Yeah, it's one of these sort of, okay, he's an amalgamation. But, was there a reporter that helped him along? Debatable, and certainly the specific character did not exist. But Zac Efron plays this guy, Chicky. John Chicky Donahue is the name, but Chicky he goes by. He is a young veteran, and he is, embroiled in this sort of debate with some family members, because his sister specifically does not approve of the war. She goes to the Vietnam protests and stuff like that. But as a veteran, he's like, no, this is what we need to do, and X, Y, and Z. And she's like, well, what are you doing? And so he has this cockamamie idea one night at the bar to sneak into the Vietnam War, to find his friends that are still serving duty and deliver them beer, American beer. It's a silly concept, right? But it's real. This guy really did this. And the movie portrays exactly that. So he's there, with the big satchel, and just going all over Vietnam, trying to get into places that he has no business being in. And, it's kind of a morality tale, I guess, as well, in the trope of war is hell. He realizes, along his journey that, maybe, you know, the Vietnam War is not the best thing. Maybe we're not doing the right thing here. I wasn't alive for the Vietnam War, but, you know, I think we all sort of know that the veterans of that war, when they came back to this country, you know, really were not treated very well because people didn't believe in the war, which, you know, certainly wasn't their fault, but I guess we didn't know as much then. So, so anyway, he, you know, sort of discovers that, and that's where we get a lot of our more emotional scenes. You know, he goes into a bit of a funk, thinking like, oh my God, you know, have I been on the wrong side, you know, my entire military career, and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I think those scenes actually do make some impact. Zac Efron, I gotta say, you know, we all met him, I think, in High School Musical. At least I did. I don't know if he did anything, you know, major before that, but that was, you know, the first big thing. And I wasn't like a fan of that. I didn't really watch it, but when I worked at the video store, it was one of the movies we could just kind of put on, to be innocuous to the customers. And, you know, so over the course of my time there, I've seen the movie several times, you know, just in chunks here or there that I was paying attention to. And I was like, okay, you know, it's cute. The songs are good, whatever. And then, you know, after the third High School Musical, he started getting some more serious roles, but they were like still light. It was like, you know, was it a Nicholas Sparks movie or whatever that romance he did was. But the last like 3 or 4 years, really, I would say ever since, I mean, he was great in Hairspray, but that was still part of sort of in that same time era. I would say like from Greatest Showman maybe on. And again, Greatest Showman is a musical again. So is he stretching so far? I don't know, but I love that movie. But between Gold and this and some of the other projects he's had lately, you know, even a movie like, where he was the DJ, We Are Your Friends, is that what that was called? You know, it wasn't a particularly good movie, but it was him branching out into something that we hadn't seen him do before. And I really honestly respect Zac Efron for his you know, desire to do different things. And I think, you know, this is something that could be seen as different for him for sure. And the other people involved, you know, Russell Crowe's fine and Bill Murray is fine. But, you know, this is really Zac Efron's movie for sure. It's a lot like We Are Your Friends in that vein. I feel like he was in every scene of that movie too. Look, you know, this is one of these movies that has a wildly differing opinion on Rotten Tomatoes. With the critics, it's in the mid-30s. It's like 35% or something. And then with audiences, it's 91%. So, you know, as usual, the truth falls sort of somewhere in the middle. I am in the middle, but certainly more with the audience on this one. I thought this was a very good movie. I don't think it's as good as Green Book, which I know got a lot of crap for winning an Oscar. But I do like that movie. But I really liked a lot about this movie. Its tone shifts did not bother me because I think that sort of is what the vibe is sometimes in war. Like sometimes we have to kind of, you know, cover what is going on with a little bit of humor. And it's more the absurdity. It's not like they were cracking jokes, but it was more like the absurdity of him being there and, you know, breaking into all these places just to deliver a beer. But it all really happened. So it is a wild story. I leave The Greatest Beer Run Ever with a B. Thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody next time on Damn Reviews It. Bye.